I got a comment from somebody saying that they agonize over every step of the way. Like, how could I have done this so fast when they're doing something like this? All the decision making, and they just agonize. I agonize. I'm getting it down though, so that I don't agonize for so long. But I was just talking to my daughter this morning, because she's a creative artist too. Did she ever get to a point, like you start a work, you're all excited, you're inspired, you jump in, you start doing things, everything goes along very swimmingly, and then suddenly there's a brick wall. It can get almost traumatic. I've had really unpleasant experiences. If you watched my Superman quilt, it was drastic, the decisions. I just got so totally lost, not knowing what to do. Of course, the people that are making square blocks, all geometric, every piece cut exactly to the same specs, they don't have quite this, although if they wanted to, they could still, when they started thinking about how they were using color and pattern. But if you don't have any uniformity, you get to a point where you have to make decisions, and there's so many options. So I understand what she's talking about. I think it's not a big deal, it's just a quilt. Jump in, and you can always make another one. The decision making I had to make here, every time I walked into the room, something about it bothered me. And that was the strength of these pieces. I had that other, they were both the same. It's just so powerful, this stuff. Even though I'm going to alter it when I start the hand quilting, still I didn't like it. So I'm going to cut off part of it. That's another thing. You can get attached to something that you like and not be willing to give it up. I love this fabric. I don't want to cut it. Don't lose any of it. You start hoarding at the expense of the piece. So I'm going to, I've just got this folded down here now, but I'm going to take this off and make this narrower and keep and fold this and make this smaller too. Right now I just folded it so I could be sure that that was really what I wanted to do. I have good plans for the way I'm going to quilt this. The quilting is going to really transform it. This is only the first step. This quilt is a major breakthrough for me because I'm doing freehand cutting. So it's not straight. I have always, almost always, used this. And I'd have my fabric there. I would measure very carefully. I'd have the grip. I had something in mind I was going to do. I got ready to cut. I'd put my ruler here, line up everything exactly the way I wanted it, and cut. There's a difference between this line and this line. This line's up perfect. Look at this one. It's not that I haven't been free before, but I still had things precise. Someone suggested that if she were doing the quilt, she would have used that other Japanese piece if I was going to use all this blue and white stuff, because to use the blue and white kimonos with this image was just going to be too much blue and white. I don't really have anything against blue and white. In fact, it reminds me of Japan a lot. They do a lot with indigo and white, so for me it carries it out. And then of course if you want blue and white, I have this plate, which a ceramicist friend made for me for my 80th birthday. She calls her company the Daft Delft China Company. Very sweet of her. Of course, it had a birthday cake on it, because for that huge event, we had 8 birthday cakes, one for each decade. And so she brought hers on this plate, which was an extra goodie.